Meanwhile, schools are ranked fourth from the bottom in the entire nation, and Crooked Joe has no plan to improve them, none whatsoever. By the way, we're moving the Department of Education back to the states. And you know, some of our states are going to do a fantastic job with running education. If you think about it, we spend more per pupil than any other country in the world, and we're at the bottom of every list. So, as I used to say about a group that likes me very much, what the hell do you have to lose, right? They might as well do it. And we'll be able to cut education in half and get a much better education. Some of the states, I could name them right now, will have the best education anywhere in the world. Some won't do as well. There are a couple of states like, I would say Gavin Newsom will not do well. Under the Trump administration, we're going to bring law and order and safety back to our streets. We're going to bring success back to our schools. We're going to bring prosperity back to our forgotten communities, and we are going to liberate our once great cities and make Philadelphia better and more beautiful than ever before. But saving this once incredible place begins with stopping the killing and the crime that's setting records every single week. Unbelievably, Crooked Joe Biden is going around trying to claim that crime is down. He says crime is down. Crime is so much up. First of all, we have a new form of crime. It's called the Biden migrant crime, right? The Biden migrant. And all these millions of people that have come in here, they're just getting warmed up because, you know, they wanted to feel it out. They didn't know what the words politically correct mean because in their country, if they did what they do over here, they'd be shot and killed instantly. They can't believe what's happening over here. So it's only going to get worse. It's going to get worse and worse right up to the election. And after the election, on January 20th, it's going to get real good. We're going to give immunity to our police, so if they arrest somebody or if they speak a little bit harshly, they won't be discarded, they won't be destroyed, they won't be thrown in jail because they raised their voice to a criminal. They won't lose their family, they won't lose their home, they won't lose their pension. But the FBI crime statistics Biden is pushing are fake. They're fake! Just like everything else in this administration. Now he's even saying that all his mishaps were fake. They say the fake news covered him in a fake manner. That's a lot of fake news. That's a lot of fake news back there. Because they're all going out of business. Nobody believes them anymore. And it didn't help when they went along with the Biden scam. What does he call it? What does he call it? You know what he calls it? So they get him in about 9 different positions. I mean, even normal positions, although I had some of these minutes to get there. But they get him in all these horrible, compromising posts. And then they say it really wasn't that way. So then everybody sends in, they all have cameras. See, everybody has a camera. If I blow it up here, though, they take a perfect, brilliant, beautiful statement that I make. I go for 2 hours without teleprompters. And if I say one word slightly out, they say, he's cognitively impaired. Whereas Biden can run into walls. He can fall off the stage. He can fall up the stairs. He falls up. He can turn around. Listen to this. From 20,000 feet, a paratrooper is landing right in front of him. Everybody, all the foreign leaders, they're watching. And he turns around to look at a tree. And then they say it was fake, he was fine. And then the press goes along with it. They go along with it. They say, isn't it terrible the way they cover him? No, he's terrible. The worst president in history by far. And we have to get him out, or this country is not going to survive another year. According to the Much Better National Crime Victimization Survey, there has actually been a 43% increase in violent crime since I left office, including 58% increase in rapes, an 89% increase in aggravated assaults, and a 56% increase in robberies. Other than that, I think we're doing quite well, don't you? But with your vote, Joe Biden's wave of bedlam and death and terror will begin to recede the moment I take the oath of office, January 12th. First, I will stand with the heroes of law enforcement. We will give our police officers the respect and protection, resources, and support that they need to drive down the crime to zero. Second, we will surge federal law enforcement resources to the places that need them most. There are certain places, like places that I know very well here, that are just absolutely out of control. I mean, if you walk down certain streets here, you have a 50-50 chance of not ever seeing your home again. That's not too good. Instead of throwing Christians in jail, as Biden has done, we're going to crack down on the gangs, the drug dealers, human traffickers, and criminal cartels. Third, we're going to stand up to the out-of-control, Soros-backed DAs like Philadelphia's despicable Marxist prosecutor, Larry Krasner. How did he get it? Krasner has the blood of countless men, women, children on his hands, including thousands of African-American citizens, because he refuses to prosecute people. They don't refuse to prosecute me. I got more prosecutions than any human being. I've got more than the great Alphonse Capone. You ever hear of Scarface? Oh, my parents are looking down. How did this happen to my son? You know how it happened? I won an election that I wasn't supposed to win. I then did better the second time by a lot. We did much better, for those of you in the fake news, we did much better the second time than we did the first. Like, not even a contest. In fact, we got the most votes for a sitting president in the history of our country. And then we were told, oh, but he just lost. No, we can't let this happen. And I'll tell you what, I have never seen, and we had a great 2016, we had an even better 2020. There has never been enthusiasm like I'm seeing right now. There's never been. Because if there's a star in the crowd, the cameras on them like the holes. They maybe only can see the back of my head. But you know what? The cameras on them, you think you have the best seats. If there's a star in the group, they will be found by the fake news. But my administration will aggressively defend the right of every American to live in safety and peace. We're going to have a safe country again. We're going to have a safe country. For that same reason, we will end migrant crime. New category, it's a vicious crime. I told Dana White of UFC, I said, here's what we're going to do. These are tough cookies coming into our country, coming with prisons and mental institutions. I said to Dana White, UFC, he's got a big fight going on right now. He's a good friend of mine. You know what he said the other day? They said, who's the toughest person you've ever met? He said, definitely Donald Trump. He said, Listen, Dana, I have an idea for you to make a lot of money. You're going to go and start a new migrant fight league. Migrants, only migrants. And then at the end of the year, the champion migrant is going to fight your champion. And I hate to tell you, Dana, I think the migrant might win. That's how tough they are. This is not a normal situation. This is not, oh, isn't it wonderful, these wonderful people. These people are drug dealers, gang members, killers in so many different ways. Now, and we probably have 18 million, we'll have 20 million by the time we get this guy out of there. But we gotta get him out fast. We got even bigger problems. We gotta get him out fast. The biggest problem is what he's saying to Russia, China, to Kim Jong-un, North Korea. What he's saying to these countries, they're laughing at us. They can't believe this has happened to America. On day one, I will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens the hell back home. Day after day, week after week, Joe Biden is releasing illegal criminals into our communities to rape, pillage, plunder, and to kill. And by the way, here's the only thing. He doesn't even have a clue, in my opinion. These are young, smart people that happen to be fascists and communists that they surround him in the Oval Office, the beautiful Resolute desk. It's been soiled, that gorgeous Resolute desk. What they're doing to our country, they're destroying our country. Just this week, a 12-year-old girl in Houston, Jocelyn Mundari, was tied up, stripped, and strangled to death after walking to a 7-Eleven, her body dumped near the side of the road in a shallow creek. Charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder are 2 illegal alien savages that Joe Biden recently set loose into our country. They came across our border, claiming they feared for their lives in Venezuela. They feared for their lives in Venezuela. You know, in Venezuela, crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminals, their drug dealers, and most of the people in their jails, and they've brought them to the United States of America. So they were afraid for their lives, and think of it, they couldn't stand it. They were so afraid. I'm so afraid, Venezuela. But they waited only weeks before murdering this precious, young, beautiful girl. One of them was here for 21 days before the murder took place. Last week in New York, another illegal alien who Joe Biden set loose into our country approached 2 13-year-old children with a machete in broad daylight, and like a scene from a horror movie, he forced them into the woods, tied them together by their wrists, and raped the young girl at a park in Queens, a park that I grew up right next to. While filming it on camera, he put it on camera, he thought it was great. You know, I used to go to that park and ride my bicycle like a kid. I was a kid too, can you believe it? I'd ride my bicycle to the park. My mother loved me, but she'd say, oh good, be home at a certain time, you know. I'd ride there, this went on for years. There was never any thought of anything happening. Now if you go to a park near your home, you have a very good chance of never seeing your child again. This is not living in a country that we grew up in, and we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand for it. We're going to take our country back. We're going to take our country back. In Iowa this week, another illegal immigrant released by Joe Biden pled guilty to sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl. And last week, yet another Biden migrant was arrested for the rape and murder of Rachel Long. I just spoke to her mother, Patricia, Patty, as they say, Patricia. Rachel was a 37-year-old Maryland mother of 5 whom he attacked while she was out for a run. She wanted to stay in good shape and she ends up getting killed. Police believe that the animal responsible for Rachel's killing first murdered another young woman in El Salvador, then he fled across Joe Biden's wide-open border. Wide open, come on in, into the United States. You know, we had the safest border in the history of our country. Now we have the unsafest border in the history of the world. After which he savagely attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home in Los Angeles before killing Rachel. And a lot of Rachel's family is here. I have to say that they're incredible people. And we're deeply grateful for the brother, sister of Rachel, Michael Morin, Aaron Morin Lehman. Would you stand up, please? Please, wherever you may be. They've gone through hell. I've watched them on television. I've watched you on television, and it is a tough